And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, my futures friends and family. It's time to do something I haven't done in a little while, to do a little bit market reflection here, Tuesday, May the 2nd. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Oh, we got a little friend here. Hi, Lacey. Hi. The center of the universe came to say hello to everybody. Hey, girl. So hopefully you had a good trading day. I know we had some pretty decent moves here. Big spike in the VIX when the S&Ps and the stock indices turned lower. Did not turn out as bad as it could have today. That is for sure. The E-mini S&Ps closed down approximately 215 points, 1%. The NASDAQ down 100, or I'm sorry, was it 45? 45 points, not 215, down 45 points. Approximately 1%. The NASDAQ down 109 points, again, unofficially, 0.8%, and the Dow closed down 320 at 0.9%. The real talk of the town today is really crude oil, which closed down $4 today, settling at 71.66, approximately, 5.2% lower, almost 5.3% lower. So pretty decent moves in a lot of these markets. Gold also a pretty decent big move. Treasuries, everything really had a big move. And it's some of the news that came out, some of the economic information, and some other news that came out. Factory orders was lower than expected, and the previous release was also revised lower. U.S. job openings were also lower, 9.59 million versus an expected 9.77 million. Maybe not all that impactful initially, but there were some comments that were made. Some of the D.C. lawmakers are urging Chairman Powell to stop hiking interest rates. A little bit of political pressure now coming into the FOMC meeting. The D.C. Dems also are demanding a debt limit extension without any kind of a spending limit bill. So they just want the more money and no limitations for spending. At least that's the idea that they're shooting for now. So, we have some pretty big moves in these markets. Again, the FOMC meeting is a 2-day meeting. We will be looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow afternoon. It seems a little bit more in question now than it did at the beginning of the day. We also have the ADP employment report, 7:15, long before the equity open. Be careful. It's liable to be a very illiquid period of time if you're going to be active in the markets prior to the open tomorrow. We also have Treasury refunding announcement. Now, this is something they do every quarter. The ISM Services Index, 9 o'clock, EIA Petroleum Status Report, 9:30, and of course the FOMC meeting and chair presser tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central and 1:30 p.m. Central, respectively. Lots of employment numbers coming out for the next 3 days. We had our first look at it today. Jobless claims again on Thursday and unemployment on Friday. So lots of interesting things coming out, lots of interesting things in these markets. We had a valiant effort, or at least an effort, to get short the S&Ps and make Hoag money today. We never did get into the market, which is okay. I'm kind of bummed we didn't catch this move, but we'll maybe catch the next one. That's all right. And really got into crude oil. I kind of looked around. I didn't see anything in, kind of a light looking for any new news in crude oil. Maybe somebody that knows something can enlighten me about that, but pretty big moves here in these markets. We'll get looking at these charts right now. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we're going to have group coaching tomorrow at 12:30, as well as the afternoon session of Make Hogue Money. And we may have a special guest for Make Hogue Money on Thursday. I'll let you know as soon as I find out about that, and we'll at least look forward to having everybody there and everybody looking for those opportunities. Good afternoon, Phil, George. Lacey was up here saying hello to you. Laura, good to see you. Jimmy Decker, Tyson, Joe, 6,000 contracts traded at 41.36 at the close. That's a big trade. We'll take a look and see what that looks like here on the charts in just a moment. Joe, thank you again for all your contributions. Sigma, Bill, and Jason, it's good to see everybody. Let's take a look at these charts now. So we'll start, I guess, as usual, in the afternoons with crude oil. What the heck happened here? Market opens in range below value, opening range, the high of the session, and it just never looked back. Kind of like the S&Ps. I think this is a little bit of fear of economic slowdowns and lower demand in crude. It's the way it looks to me. Here's the daily chart. So the market opened and started to, driving lower right away. We're pretty much range bound. We walked right through last week's low without even batting an eye. So there were a couple, I think, opportunities to try and get into this move to the downside. I have not been trading crude actively, but I may have to start looking at it again. So, this was happening when we were in Make Hogue Money. So I probably would not have had the opportunity to participate. Yeah, this was at 8:30 bar, 9 o'clock. So pretty big move. We're getting pretty cheap too. 70.90 is weekly kickoff low. It's a previous naked point of control. And remember that the White House a few months ago said they were considering replenishing the petroleum status reserve at $70. I think they've kind of backed off of that now, but I'm kind of leery to see if they do become active there at some point. Can't really tip your hand like that, White House. Here's the E-mini S&Ps. So we had that test of weekly kickoff high yesterday, and we came off pretty quickly. We lost open interest, indicating long liquidation, not necessarily new shorts. I'm going to be very interested to see what kind of open interest change we brought today. We've got some pretty much higher volume. Let's see what it looks like here on the New York Stock Exchange. 36% higher as of 2 o'clock. 36% higher. That's some pretty decent volume. It's 4 million as of 3 o'clock. So that's not bad, but not tremendous. It's not too bad. So we really had some good momentum to the downside, but it was really kind of didn't hold for very long. We got a pretty decent pullback off that low. So again, I'll be kind of monitoring open interest tomorrow morning to see what kind of new business we brought in, if any. Here's the 30-minute chart. Opening range, the high of the day, with a gap, no gap close. We look for opportunities to get short. And our opening range trade, which we tried to take on Make Hogue Money this morning, the market moved away from it a little too quickly, and we tried to get a pullback towards it to get short. We never did get a fill on that, and we just kind of watched the market fall apart. We do know, however, that we've discussed before, the market yesterday put in a new high in regular trading hours. We've taken out all of the previous overnight highs, overnight recent highs. So the market finally did that. It reached up there, hit weekly kickoff high, and fell off yesterday. We had been talking yesterday and the day before, I think, on Friday, that there's a whole lot of weak structure down below. This day in particular, if you look at the profile on this day, let's get to the regular trading hours. That's not profile. So we looked at this day and we said, well, this was a big, strong up move, right? It was very emotional and left all kinds of unfinished business. What did we do today? We repaired that unfinished business. We have a little bit of degree of excess down here as well. We also know that if we do continue to the downside, it's not going to give it to me, is it? No. It's got to recharge or something here. Hang on. There are some weak lows that remain down here. We're not going to be able to see them today. Apparently, the chart isn't going to cooperate, but there's still more weak structure down below if we head in that direction. Looking at the daily chart, we took out April's high. This is April's low. The entire monthly range was 130 points. Took out the high, rejected. Let's go take a look at the low, see what happens there. Hello, Sigma, Bill, Jason, good to see you. France, Anissa, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and having a little relaxing review here from the day, a little reflection. NASDAQ, different situation wholeheartedly. The market looked above weekly kickoff high yesterday. We lost open interest, similar to what we did in the S&Ps, some little long liquidation, a little profit taking. Looking at the 30-minute chart, this market opened in range and in value. Took a little bit longer for the sellers to come in on this, but they managed to, and they did not complete the repair of what day is this? Thursday. Last Thursday's profile. Here we go. So there it is. We break. We took care of a little bit of the weak structure down here, but by no means did we finish. How far is this going to give me? Let me see if I can get back to this on the S&Ps. We just did. We just saw them. For some reason, this isn't populating for me, but that's okay. That happens. What about gold? Well, the dollar sure took it on the chin after the numbers today. And look what happened to gold. We talked about where gold was opening was a high probability of repair. Well, we overdid the repair a little bit here. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. Distribution, 2 distributions in the day yesterday. We opened between them. There's a good probability of reaching the upper extreme of the distribution higher. Well, we did that first thing. Maybe after 9 o'clock. Yeah, this was after the numbers. So those numbers really seemed to have an effect, and it was a difficult read. I didn't really feel like I understood that much how much those numbers were going to affect these markets. So first thing we did was finish repair, and then we continued. We tested to and I think really closed right at that weekly kickoff high, which is 2024. be interesting again to see if we have a bunch of open interest come in and to see if we see some continuation, acceptance and continuation above that level here in gold. Here's the TPO chart. Good afternoon, Vince. So double distribution, boom, boom. Here's the repair, and just a kind of a continuation, kind of a rotation. That's what the gold market seems to do. Is it'll range, have a big move, and then range. Again, we'll see what it looks like tomorrow morning. Euro, kind of the same situation. We're still holding in what I'm calling an upside digestion. Upside digestion. Here's the 30. So we got a little bit overnight inventory to the short side. The numbers came out. The dollar broke, and where do we go? We went into the range from yesterday, but no completion of repair. Maybe that'll come tomorrow. Here's the TPO chart. So double distribution, boom, boom. We opened outside of it, which may be part of the reason why we had trouble getting to the upper distribution of yesterday's range. We've put in a weak high, double distribution, trend day to the upside. It's going to be fascinating to see any changes in open interest in these markets tomorrow. Even the natural gas popped to the upside today, while crude oil headed the other direction. Still range bound here. Look at this. $9 o'clock, 9:30, 9 o'clock bar. This market really got affected by a lot. It seems like all these markets got affected by those 9 o'clock numbers. I think we've got a little bit of the sore toe effect going on here. The markets are going to respond viciously to just about anything. Excellent, Yarich. Yarich is just catching up on the market profile foundations courses, and this is starting to make sense. Excellent. And I hope that it makes good sense and you're able to use it and profit handsomely. We're looking forward to your success, all of you. So here we are, back up to weekly kickoff high. Might be another interesting day tomorrow. Week high, a couple of unfinished points of control above, unfinished business on both sides of this market. Low excess lows here, though. Another week high up here, so it seems likely to be checked relatively soon. So, well, it's a pleasure to see everybody here at the end of the day, and I hope you had a good trading day. I was a little bit, unhappy, maybe, that we missed that short in Make Hogue Money. It was such a sweet opportunity, but I know I've missed better trades. Excellent, Yarich. Very happy about that. Already feeling better about his trading. Awesome. So, on this day in history, 1933, the Loch Ness Monster is sighted for the first time. The legend begins. 2011, Osama bin Laden is killed by U.S. forces. 1918, GM buys Chevrolet. I'm sure they got it for a steal, too. As far as in music, not too many names that I recognize as far as birthdays. We got Engelbert Humperdinck, his birthday today, born in 1936. He passed away in 2005 at the age of 76. Lou Gramm, singer-songwriter with English-American rock band Foreigner. It's his birthday today, born in 1950. My goodness, all these guys are getting old. 1969, The Who gave a press preview of their new rock opera, Tommy, at Ronnie Scott's in London, England. Double album about a deaf, dumb, and blind boy who becomes the leader of a messianic movement. It was the first musical work to be billed overtly as a rock opera. In 1998, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame for historical, artistic, and significant value. Sold over 20 million copies worldwide. 1972, Bruce Springsteen auditioned for CBS Radio's A&R man, John Hammond, in New York. Springsteen played a short set for him in his office. Hammond was so impressed that he arranged a real audition that night at the Gaslight Club in New York for other Columbia executives. Goes without saying, Bruce passed the audition. And that's about enough of that. Half back the entire move from last Wednesday, 41.3750. 41.3750. And look where we are. 36 quarter, half back. Good afternoon, Andy. Good to see you. So, make sure you're up and ready early tomorrow. It's going to be another challenging trading day, but aren't they all? Looking forward to seeing what the FOMC meeting brings and even more about what the Fed Chairman Powell comes up with tomorrow. So get some rest. Have a good night. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Do something nice for yourself. We work really hard at this. You deserve to be good to yourself. Don't forget to pray for peace. And I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:45.